At 4:47 a.m., a federal judge's mansion exploded with tactical teams. What they found in the basement wasn't wine or antiques, it was 19 women chained to a wall, passports for ghosts, and a ledger worth $6.3 million. The woman who sentenced human traffickers was running the operation herself. Welcome to IC and FBI Files, where we expose the criminals hiding behind badges, courtrooms, and power. I'm your host, and today's case will shatter everything you thought you knew about justice. Before we dive in, quick question: have you ever wondered if the system protecting you could be the same system exploiting you? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if this story hits hard, smash that like button, it pushes this truth to more people who need to see it. Let's get into it. March 22, 2026, 4:47 a.m. Fort Lauderdale, Florida. 16 armored vehicles rolled through the pre-dawn darkness. No lights. No sirens. Just cold precision. 2 targets. 2 federal judges. One coordinated strike that would expose a corruption so deep, it had been invisible for 8 years. Judge Elena Morales, known in Fort Lauderdale as the Guardian. She'd built a reputation. Destroying smuggling rings, handing down maximum sentences, standing beside governors in photo ops. Her waterfront estate screamed success, $2.8 million, palm trees, a private dock leaning under. Security lights. When the breach team hit her reinforced door at 4:47 a.m., it didn't just open, it detonated the lie. Here's what you need to understand: the house was designed to impress. Crystal chandeliers. Family portraits. Awards lining the walls: excellence in justice, defender of victims, champion of the vulnerable. Then they found the panel. Hidden behind a bookshelf. Sealed with a biometric lock. When it opened, the air changed. One agent later said it felt like stepping into a tomb. Inside, stacks of forged passports. Social security cards for people who never existed. A laminating machine still warm. And a single visa issued to a 21-year-old woman from El Salvador. The same woman found dead in a Miami motel 6 months earlier. Fentanyl overdose. Case dismissed by Judge Morales herself. Question for you: how does a federal judge go from convicting criminals to becoming one? Comment below. 2 miles away, Judge Carlos Vega's estate. At the exact same moment, another team was cracking open Judge Vega's private study. They found an encrypted laptop, still logged in. The last message, sent at 11:52 p.m., shipment 19 cleared. Payment Friday. Morales handles the paperwork. Then an agent noticed the bookshelf. 2 perfect. 2 aligned. It swung open. Inside the wall safe, ledgers documenting 27 shipments across 4 years. Not drugs. People. Each entry had 5 columns. Origin: Honduras, Guatemala, Nicaragua. Headcount: 6 to 29 per shipment. Route codes: encrypted abbreviations. Status: delivered, pending, or disposed. Payments: $6. 3 million total. At the bottom, handwritten in Spanish: El escudo protege a quien lo alimenta. The shield protects whoever feeds it. By 5:30 a.m., both judges were in custody. But the nightmare was just beginning. 7:18 a.m. Sunrise Storage Facility, Pembroke Pines. Forensic analyst Rachel Torres ran Morales' financials. One charge stood out: $420 monthly to a budget storage unit. A woman earning $195,000 a year with a waterfront mansion. Why rent a 10 by 20 unit in Pembroke Pines? At 7:41 a.m., 4 ICE agents arrived at Unit 184. The manager unlocked it. The door rolled up with a grinding screech. Darkness first. Then the smell, sweat, fear, unwashed bodies trapped in Florida heat. Flashlights cut through the black. Movement answered. 19 women. Chained to a reinforced bar. Ages 16 to 31. No IDs. Some unconscious. Some too broken to cry. One wall thermometer, 94 degrees. Scratched into the metal with something sharp, Dia 41. Day 41. Someone had been counting. Rental records. Confirmed Morales had paid for that unit for 11 months. Think about this: while Morales was sentencing traffickers in court, she was holding victims in storage units. She weaponized the law itself. The network expands. Within 2 hours, the case exploded. The forged passports from Morales' basement matched 16 of the 19 women in the storage unit. Vegas Ledger tagged the location as the 5th site in a chain. Financial Sweeps revealed Morales had rented 8 storage facilities across South Florida, each under different names, each capable of holding victims. By noon, 73 suspects were in federal custody. By 6 p.m., 164 victims had been recovered. But here's the twist: at 12:51 p.m., a message hit Vegas' seized phone: Protocol 9, burn everything. Immediate. Morales and Vega weren't the architects. They were middle management. 1:47 p.m. Port Everglades, Fort Lauderdale. The case shifted from courtrooms to cargo docks. A shipping container was flagged, its clearance paperwork carried an approval signature from a clerk tied to Morales' chambers, dated 3 days earlier. By 2:34 p.m., federal agents were cutting the lock. Heat surged out. Then flames rolled forward. An incendiary device remotely triggered to destroy evidence before investigators could catalog it. Protocol 9 wasn't a text. It was a standing order to burn witnesses. But flashlights caught movement behind a metal partition. 11 women, zip-tied. Faces streaked with soot, lungs choking on smoke. 3 agents went in anyway. 42 seconds later, all 11 were out. 1 agent emerged with burns across his arms, still carrying a survivor. That rescue changed everything. It proved the network was willing to kill victims in real time on U.S. infrastructure just to erase paperwork. The digital fortress. At 3:15 a.m. the next morning, FBI cyber forensics cracked Vegas' encrypted server. What came back wasn't a loose trafficking ring. It was an operating system. 8 judges across Florida listed as decision nodes. 19 customs officials tagged for clearance manipulation. 12 law enforcement officers assigned to protection and intimidation. 31 storage sites mapped across 6 counties. Estimated victims moved over 5 years. 420. The money trail ignited next. Analysts traced $23.4 million in wire transfers through shell entities into offshore accounts: Panama, British Virgin Islands, Switzerland. Morales' personal cut: $2.7 million. Vegas cut: $3.6 million. Here's the math: the price of a federal judge's compliance was roughly $650,000 per year, paid in clean installments like rent on a conscience. March 24, 2026, 5 a.m. Operation Iron Robe went full scale. 19 locations struck simultaneously across Florida, Miami, Tampa, Jacksonville, Orlando. In Coral Springs, agents seized 63 forged shipping manifests and a contact list pairing badge numbers with cartel handlers. In West Palm Beach, a law office produced $890,000 vacuum-sealed inside filing cabinets. In Broward County, a judge's chambers contained a concealed panic switch wired to a cartel safe house. By 9 a.m., 96 suspects in federal custody. By noon, 164 victims recovered. By 6 p.m., South Florida's judicial system under emergency federal review. The human cost. 6 weeks into the operation, Task Force analyst Marcus Chen rebuilt Morales' case record. Between 2018 and 2026, Morales touched 107 trafficking cases. 81 ended in dismissals or minimal sentences. Chen mapped every softened outcome to the defense attorneys who benefited. 53 of the 81 cases involved the same lawyer, Victor Salazar. His office sat 3 blocks from the courthouse. Chen pulled Salazar's financials. Dates aligned with offshore deposits tied to Morales. Transfers arrived within hours of specific rulings, then vanished into shell invoices. It wasn't bribery as an occasional sin. It was payroll with a calendar. One file became the emotional core. A young woman named Sofia, trafficked from Guatemala at 18, testified in Morales' courtroom in 2024. She had scars, dates, names, locations, a timeline she'd repeated until it lived in her bones. The ruling centered on inconsistencies. Case dismissed. 2 weeks later, Sofia was forced back into captivity, not because she lied, but because her traffickers learned the courthouse could be used as a shield. During sentencing hearings in 2026, Sophia kept her eyes on Morales. Morales never looked up. November 8, 2026, federal sentencing. Judge Elena Morales, 42 years in federal prison. Judge Carlos Vega, 46 years. Defense attorney Victor Salazar, 33 years. 6 other judges, 22 to 38 years. The courtroom didn't erupt. It held its breath, then released it. In the gallery, survivors sat shoulder to shoulder. Not cheering. Just breathing in a room where they'd once been treated like paperwork. But justice has a cost numbers can't capture. One woman pulled from the burning container was 18 when she was trafficked. She was 24 at sentencing. She still flinches when doors slam. Smoke from a street grill freezes her in place. Freedom doesn't delete what happened. It just gives you room to carry it without chains. Operation Iron Robe dismantled a network. Removed officials. Froze millions. But it left one question no sentence can close: how many robes were never searched? 6 months after sentencing, the Tampa FBI field office received an anonymous tip: you missed someone. Attached was a photo from a federal courthouse in Jacksonville. On a judge's desk, half hidden beneath a folder, sat a storage unit rental agreement. Different name. Same formatting. Same quiet intent. Here's the uncomfortable truth: a system cannot protect you when the predator is the system. So I'm asking you directly, do you believe accountability should travel beyond Florida? If yes, leave a comment. Hit that like button so this story doesn't get buried. Subscribe to ICE and FBI Files because we're not stopping here. Some stories aren't entertainment. Some stories are evidence. And the truth? It's only just beginning to surface. I'll see you in the next investigation.